Installation instructions. Preparation. If the surface where a flexible Proofing Hyperstone stone will be placed is a painted wall or includes loose areas, scrap and clean the surfaces. Then treat the wall to become rough and have a solid base. Priming, when this is not needed. Stucco without loose areas or cement surfaces do not need priming. Just pour the glue directly. This applies also to emulsion-covered, expanded polystyrene, where no priming is required. Priming, when this is needed, and type of primer. On alpha block and gypsum boards drywall, in both of these surfaces, use as primer the adhesive Proofing Hyperstone glue, diluted with 1 kg of liquid and ½ kg of mortar. On non-absorbent surfaces, such as panels, steel or wood, use quartz primer. Glue. Immediately afterwards, we prepare the adhesive Proofing Hyperstone glue, 1 part liquid and 3 parts mortar during winter, and 1 part liquid and 2½ parts mortar during summer. Pour the emulsion in the bucket and add the mortar while stirring it with a slow revolving drill for 5 minutes. We let it rest for 5 minutes and re-stir it for 2 minutes. The quantity prepared inside the bucket will last for up to 5 hours. Use a 5 mm ½ cm serrated spatula on any surface. After spreading the glue on the wall, the time available to install the Proofing Hyperstone rock ranges between 5 and 15 minutes, depending on the weather conditions. Installation. We start from the upper or lower part of the building by placing T or cross spacers of thickness depending on the joint desired. If no joint is desired, we may avert using the T or cross spacer by joining together the flexible Proofing Hyperstone rocks. In corners, external, internal, in vertical or horizontal beams, curves, etc., the flexible Proofing Hyperstone may be curved at any angle without breaking. Joining. After having finished the placement of the Proofing Hyperstone, we commence joining. Joining is very easy, since there is no fear of having the joint fillers leaving shadows on the flexible Proofing Hyperstone. This is one of the many advantages of the Proofing Hyperstone achieved during manufacture. We mix the mortar of the joint filler with water at the rate of 1 part of water and 4 parts of joint filler mortar. We simply fill the joints and with a wet sponge remove the excess material. We may as well use the color Proofing Hyperstone adhesive and join the slabs at the same time. When placing the Proofing Hyperstone slabs, we exert pressure on the joints to the extent where the outflowing of the glue is sufficient for filling the joint. It is up to the technician to decide which step shall be followed. It must be noted that in both steps, the excess joint filler or colored glue must be removed from the joint using a wet sponge. Proofing Hyperstone stone waterproofing material. After verifying that the fill joint has dried up, usually after 24 hours, we pass the stone waterproofing material using a brush or roller covering the entire surface and specifically the joints to allow the complete waterproofing of the surface that has been lined with Proofing Hyperstone. This waterproofing material has breathing properties and does not form a crust varnish that would entrap moisture.